I gave her everything, my savings, my trust, my future. She told me she'd never leave, that I saved her family, that I was her hero. I believed every word, until the day I wired the last payment and she vanished. No goodbye, no explanation, just silence. And I'm sitting here in this empty apartment, wondering how I became the fool in someone else's survival plan. I'm looking at Carmen across this little beachfront cafe in Iloilo, watching her read the letter I wrote her last night. The ocean breeze is moving her hair, and she's smiling, actually smiling, at something I wrote. I can't remember the last time someone smiled at my words like that. She looks up at me with those dark eyes and says, "Vincent, this is beautiful. No one has ever written me anything like this before." I feel my chest tighten, not from pain, from something I thought I'd never feel again, hope. It's been 6 months since we started talking online, 3 months since I flew here to meet her in person, and sitting here right now, I feel like maybe I'm not invisible anymore. Maybe I matter to someone again. I meant every word, I tell her, and I did. Every single word. She reaches across the table and takes my hand. Her skin is warm. "You make me feel safe," she says softly, like everything is going to be okay. I squeeze her hand gently. I want to believe that. I need to believe that. Back in Seattle, after my wife Mary passed 2 years ago, I became a ghost in my own life. My daughter Laura called once a month, maybe. My son didn't call at all. They had their careers, their families. I was just the old man in the empty house, watching TV alone every night, eating microwave dinners, wondering if anyone would notice if I didn't wake up one morning. The silence in that house was so heavy I could barely breathe. I'd walk past Mary's photos and feel nothing, just emptiness, like I'd used up all my feelings and had nothing left. Then one night, scrolling through Facebook at 2 a.m. because I couldn't sleep, I saw Carmen's friend request. Her profile said she was from Iloilo. Her photos showed her at the beach, with her family, holding her nephew. She looked real, not like those obvious fake accounts. I accepted. She messaged me the next day. "Hi Vincent, I saw your page and you seem like a kind person. How are you?" That's all it took. Just someone asking how I was. I couldn't remember the last time anyone asked me that and actually wanted to know the answer. We started talking every day. She'd ask about my work, my life, what I like to do. I told her I used to be an architect, that I designed buildings that are still standing in Seattle. She seemed genuinely interested. She'd say, "That's amazing, Vincent. You created something that will last forever." She made me feel like I was more than just an old man counting down his days. She sent me pictures of sunsets from her city, videos of her nephew playing, voice messages where I could hear her laugh. That laugh, it was like music after years of silence. "Tell me about your wife," Carmen says now, gently, "if it's not too painful." I look out at the ocean. Mary was my whole world for 38 years. When she died, I thought I died with her. I didn't want to feel anything for anyone again. It hurt too much. "And now?" she asks quietly. I look back at her. Now I'm scared, because I'm starting to feel again. And I don't know if I can survive losing someone twice. Carmen squeezes my hand tighter. "You won't lose me, Vincent. I promise. I'm not going anywhere." I want to believe her so badly it physically hurts. When I first flew here 3 months ago, I was terrified. What if she wasn't real? What if she was just playing some game? But the moment I saw her at the airport, holding a sign with my name on it, wearing a simple yellow dress, looking nervous and beautiful, I knew this was real. She ran up to me and hugged me, and I felt something crack open inside my chest, something I thought was dead forever. That first day, we walked through the market in Iloilo. She held my hand like it was the most natural thing in the world. She introduced me to vendors she knew. "This is Vincent," she'd say proudly. "He's from America. He's a famous architect." I'm not famous, but the way she said it made me feel like I was. She bought me fresh mangoes and insisted on paying with her own money. "You're my guest. she said firmly when I tried to give her cash. In the Philippines, we take care of our guests. She didn't ask me for anything that day, or the next day, or the week after that. She just wanted to spend time with me, show me her world, introduce me to her life. We ate at tiny restaurants where I was the only foreigner. She ordered for me, making sure I got the mild version of everything. "I don't want you to suffer," she'd laugh. We went to the beach and she taught me some Tagalog words. I was terrible at it. She found my attempts hilarious. At night, we'd walk along the seawall and she'd tell me stories about growing up here, about her family, her dreams. She wanted to be a teacher but couldn't afford to finish college. Her father worked in construction but his body was giving out. Her mother sold vegetables at the market. Her younger brother was 22 and trying to find steady work. They weren't rich, but she spoke about them with so much love. "I wish you could meet them," she said one night. "They would love you." "I'd like that," I told her, and I meant it. By the time I flew back to Seattle after that first visit, I was already in love. Or at least I thought it was love. Maybe it was just gratitude. Gratitude that someone young and beautiful and full of life wanted to spend time with me. That someone made me feel valuable again. That someone looked at me and saw a man worth knowing, not just an old guy taking up space. I couldn't wait to come back. I started planning my next trip immediately. Carmen and I video called every day. She'd show me her day. I'd show her mine. She never asked for money. Not once. She just wanted me. Now, sitting here at this cafe with her, holding her hand, I feel alive. Actually alive. For the first time in 2 years, I have a reason to wake up. Someone to talk to. Someone who makes me laugh. Someone who says my name like it matters. "What are you thinking?" she asks, studying my face. "That I'm the luckiest man in the world," I tell her. She smiles. That beautiful smile. "No, Vincent, I'm the lucky one." And in that moment, I believe her. I believe everything. A month passes. I'm back in Seattle, but we talk every single day. Then one night, the video call feels different. Carmen's eyes are red. She's been crying. My stomach drops immediately. "What's wrong?" I ask. "Carmen, what happened?" She wipes her eyes and tries to smile, but it doesn't reach her face. "I'm sorry, Vincent. I shouldn't bother you with this. It's not your problem." "Hey," I say firmly. "If it's hurting you, it's my problem. Talk to me." She breaks down, really breaks down, sobbing so hard she can barely speak. "It's my family," she finally manages. "We're in trouble. Big trouble." I feel my heart racing. "What kind of trouble?" She takes a shaky breath. "My father. Last year my brother got really sick. Kidney problems. He needed treatment, surgery, medicine. We didn't have the money. The public hospital, the lines were so long. They said he might die waiting. So my father, he borrowed money from loan sharks to save my brother's life." "Okay," I say slowly. "How much?" "Vincent, I can't ask you." "How much, Carmen?" She looks at me through the screen, tears streaming down her face. 6.8 million pesos. That's about $120,000. The interest keeps growing every month. They came to our house yesterday. They threatened my father. Said if we don't pay soon, they'll take everything. Our house, everything. My mother is so scared. My father can't sleep, and I feel so helpless because I can't do anything to help them. I sit back in my chair. $120,000. That's a lot of money, but I have it. I'm retired. I have my pension, my savings, my investments. I don't spend much. I don't need much. I was saving it for retirement, for emergencies, maybe to leave something for my kids. But what am I saving it for? Really? To die alone in that empty house with a big bank account? What's the point of having money if you can't use it to help the people you care about? "Carmen, look at me," I say gently. She looks up, her face devastated. "I can help?" Her eyes go wide. "Vincent, no. I wasn't asking. I swear I wasn't. I just needed to tell someone. I'm so sorry for dumping this on you." "Stop," I interrupt. I want to help. I have the money. I'm retired. I don't need it all. If I can save your family, if I can take this weight off your shoulders, then that's what I'm going to do. Vincent, it's too much. You told me I saved you, that I made you feel safe. Let me actually save you, please. She covers her face with her hands and starts crying even harder. I don't deserve you. I don't. You're too good to me. You deserve everything good in this world, I tell her, and I believe it. The next day, I start making arrangements. I can't send $120,000 all at once. That would trigger flags at the bank. Plus, I want to be smart about this. I'll send it in installments. $15,000 first, then $20,000, then more. Carmen sends me the details for the loan shark's account, documentation, hospital bills, everything. It all looks legitimate. Her mother, Lita, gets on a video call with me. She's crying, thanking me in broken English and Tagalog. You saved my family, she sobs. God bless you. God bless you. I feel like I'm doing something that matters, something real. When I wire that first $15,000, Carmen video calls me immediately. She's at her family's house. Her mother is there, her father, her brother. They're all crying, all thanking me. Her brother looks thin and weak. He tries to speak but starts coughing. Her father, a weathered man with calloused hands, puts his hand over his heart and bows to me through the screen. Thank you, sir, he says in careful English. You give us hope. You save my son. Carmen hugs her mother, and they're both crying. Vincent, I will never forget this, Carmen says, looking directly at the camera. I promise you, I will spend the rest of my life making you happy. You are part of our family now, forever. I feel tears in my own eyes. When was the last time I felt this needed? This important? My own kids never needed me like this. They're successful, independent. They don't need their old man for anything. But this family, Carmen's family, I'm saving them. I'm literally saving them. Over the next 2 months, I send more money. 20,000, then another 20, then 15. Each time, Carmen sends me updates, photos of receipts, videos of her brother looking healthier, messages from her mother thanking me. I'm watching my savings account drain, but I don't care. This is what money is for. To help people, to save people. Carmen keeps her promise too. She's more attentive than ever. She sends me good morning messages every single day. She tells me she loves me. She talks about our future, about me moving to the Philippines permanently, about us getting married, about building a life together. Once this debt is gone, she says on one call, we can finally focus on us, on our future. No more stress, no more worry. Just you and me. I like the sound of that, I tell her. And I do. I'm already looking into retirement visas for the Philippines, already imagining selling my house in Seattle and moving there permanently. Why not? What do I have here? An empty house and kids who barely call? In the Philippines, I have Carmen. I have a family who appreciates me. I have a purpose. By month 3, I've sent $95,000. $25,000 to go. We're almost there, Vincent, Carmen says excitedly. Just one more payment and we're free. My family is free, and then we can really start our life together. I'll send it next week, I promise. She smiles that beautiful smile. You're my hero. You know that? My real-life hero. I want to be her hero. I want to be someone's hero, even if it costs me everything I've saved. Something feels off. I can't explain it. Just a tightness in my chest that won't go away. Carmen's been taking longer to respond to my messages. Yesterday, I sent her a good morning text. She didn't reply until 8 hours later. Just a quick, sorry, busy with family stuff. No heart emojis. No, I love you. Just that. When we video call now, she seems distracted, looking at her phone, answering questions with 1 or 2 words. The warmth is still there, but it feels dimmer, like a light that's slowly fading. Is everything okay? I asked during one call. Yes, Of course, she says, but she won't look at the camera. Just tired, stressed about the last payment. I told you, I'm sending it soon. Don't worry. I know. Thank you, Vincent. But something in her voice sounds wrong. Then during one video call, I hear a man's voice in the background. Deep, loud, laughing. Carmen's face flashes something. Panic? Annoyance? She quickly says, "That's just my cousin. He's visiting." "Oh," I say. "Can I meet him?" "He just left," she says quickly. Too quickly. "I'll introduce you next time." I let it go. But that night, I can't sleep. I lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying that moment. The way she looked, the way she dismissed it. Stop it, I tell myself. You're being paranoid. She loves you. Her family loves you. Don't ruin this with jealousy and insecurity. I'm 65 years old. She's 27. Of course she has male friends, male cousins. It doesn't mean anything. But the feeling doesn't go away. A week later, she asks for more money. 5,000. There's an additional interest payment we forgot about. She explains. "I'm so sorry, Vincent. I know you've already given us so much, but this is the last thing. I swear." I send it without asking questions. What am I going to do? Say no? Accuse her of lying? She's been nothing but honest with me. She's building a future with me. $5,000 is nothing compared to what we're building together. My friend Tom calls me from Seattle. We've known each other for 30 years. He gets straight to it. "Vincent, are you okay? I stopped by your house. You weren't there. Your neighbor said you've been traveling to the Philippines." "I'm fine, Tom. Better than fine, actually." "You met someone?" His voice is careful. "Yes. Her name is Carmen. She's wonderful." There's a pause. "How did you meet her?" "Online. We've been talking for months. I visited her. Her family is amazing." Another pause. Longer this time. "Vincent, I need you to be careful." I feel my defenses go up immediately. "Careful about what? You don't really know this woman. You don't know her family. People can be very good at what, Tom?" "Say it." "At taking advantage of lonely foreign men with money." I feel anger flash through me. "Carmen isn't like that. You don't know her. You don't know what we have." "I'm sure she's very nice," Tom says carefully. "I just don't want you to get hurt. Maybe just slow down. Take your time. Don't send her any money if she asks." "She's not asking me for money, Tom. Her family had a medical emergency. I'm helping them. That's what people do when they care about each other." "How much have you sent her?" I pause. "That's none of your business." "Vincent, I appreciate your concern, but I'm fine. Better than I've been in years. Don't worry about me." I hang up before he can respond. I sit there, my hands shaking. How dare he? How dare he reduce what Carmen and I have to some cheap scam story? He doesn't know her. He doesn't know us. He's just jealous. Lonely and jealous that I found someone who makes me happy. But that night, lying in bed again, his words echo in my head. People can be very good at taking advantage of lonely foreign men with money. I grab my phone and open Facebook. I scroll through Carmen's profile. Something I haven't done in weeks. I see photos from a party. I don't recognize the place. The photos are from 3 days ago. She's wearing the blue dress I bought her, the expensive one. She looks beautiful. She's smiling, laughing, surrounded by friends. And there's a guy with his arm around her shoulder. Casual, comfortable, like they're close, really close. My stomach turns. I click on his profile. His name is Carlo, 29 years old, from Iloilo. I scroll through his photos. There are more pictures of him and Carmen, at restaurants, at the beach. One from 2 months ago where they're holding hands. What the hell is this? I message Carmen immediately. "Who is Carlo?" 3 hours pass. No response. I send another message. "I saw the photos. Who is he?" Finally, at 2 a.m, she replies. "Vincent, what are you talking about?" I send her a screenshot. "This. Who is this guy?" "That's Carlo. He's a family friend. Why are you stalking my Facebook?" "I'm not stalking. I just saw the photos. Why is he touching you like that? Vincent, you're overreacting. He's just a friend. We grew up together. His arm is barely touching me. You're wearing the dress I bought you. So? Am I not allowed to wear clothes you gave me? I stare at the screen. She's right. I'm being crazy. Jealous and possessive and crazy. I'm sorry, I type. I just miss you. I hate being so far away. I miss you too, she replies. But you have to trust me, Vincent. We're building a future together. Don't ruin it by being paranoid. You're right. I'm sorry. It's okay. Get some sleep. I love you. I love you too. But I don't sleep. I lie awake all night, staring at those photos, trying to convince myself I'm wrong. That I'm just a lonely old man who's so scared of losing something good that I'm sabotaging it. Stop it, I tell myself. Trust her. She's given you no reason not to. But that tightness in my chest won't go away. And deep down, in a place I don't want to look, I wonder if Tom was right. Carmen calls me on Tuesday morning. She sounds excited, actually excited. More animated than she's been in weeks. Vincent, this is it. The final payment. $25,000, and the debt is completely gone. Completely. My family will be free. That's incredible, I say, and I mean it. Despite the doubts, despite the sleepless nights, I want this for her, for them. Once this is done, we can move forward with our lives. No more stress, no more debt collectors, no more fear, just us, you and me. Her voice sounds like it did in those early days. Warm, open, full of hope. When do you need it? Can you send it this week? The loan sharks want the final payment by Friday. If we pay it all off, they'll give us back the deed to the house. I'll send it today. Today? Really? She sounds almost surprised. Why wait? Let's end this. She laughs. That beautiful laugh I fell in love with. You're amazing. I can't wait until you move here, until we're together all the time. No more video calls. Just us, in person, every single day. That's all I want, I tell her. And it's true. That's all I've ever wanted. To matter to someone, to be loved, to have a home with someone who wants me there. I love you so much, Vincent. I love you too, Carmen. I hang up and immediately open my banking app. $25,000. This is it, the final piece. I wire the money. It processes immediately. I take a screenshot and send it to Carmen. It's done. We did it. She replies with 3 heart emojis and a message. You saved us. You saved my entire family. I'll call you tonight. I love you. I spend the rest of the day feeling lighter than I have in months. It's over. The debt is gone. Now we can really focus on us, on building our life together. I start looking at apartments in Iloilo, small places we could rent together, maybe eventually buy. I look into the retirement visa process again. I calculate my monthly pension. It's more than enough to live comfortably in the Philippines. Carmen and I could have a good life there, a simple, happy life. I imagine waking up next to her every morning, having coffee together, walking on the beach, growing old with someone who chose me, not out of obligation or history, but because she wanted me. By evening, I'm checking my phone every few minutes, waiting for her call. 7 o'clock passes. 8, 9. I message her. Hey, just checking in. Call when you can. 10 o'clock. Nothing. I call her. It rings once, then goes to voicemail. That's weird. Her phone is never off. I try again. Same thing. Straight to voicemail. I message her on Facebook. Is everything okay? I haven't heard from you. The message delivers, but doesn't show as read. I try WhatsApp. The message sends 1 check mark. Not delivered. My heart starts racing. Stay calm, I tell myself. She's probably just busy, celebrating with her family. The phone died. A million reasonable explanations, but I can't shake the feeling that something is very, very wrong. Wednesday morning. Still nothing. I've sent 10 messages, called 20 times, all going straight to voicemail. I check her Facebook. Her profile picture is gone. I try to visit her page. This content isn't available. My stomach drops. Did she block me? No. That doesn't make sense. Why would she block me? I try searching for her. Nothing comes up. Her entire profile is gone. Deleted. I try Instagram. Gone. WhatsApp shows our conversation, but my messages have only one check mark. Not delivered. I'm pacing my apartment. My hands are shaking. This isn't right. Something happened. Maybe she's in trouble. Maybe the loan sharks did something to her family. Maybe there's been an accident. I try calling her mother's number, the one Lita used when she thanked me on video. It rings once, then says, "The number you have dialed is not in service." I try again. Same message. My chest feels tight. I can't breathe right. By Thursday, I'm frantic. I haven't slept. I haven't eaten. I just keep checking my phone, refreshing my messages, calling numbers that don't work anymore. She's vanished. Her entire family has vanished. $120,000. Gone, and her with it. No, this can't be happening. There has to be an explanation. A reasonable explanation. She loves me. She promised me. She said I was her hero. She said forever. Friday afternoon, I do something I never thought I'd do. I hire a private investigator in Iloilo. I find one online, a man named Rico. He speaks English well. I explain the situation, send him Carmen's information, her family's address, everything I have. He says he'll look into it and get back to me within 3 days. I wire him $500. At this point, what's another $500? I spend the weekend in hell, not sleeping, barely eating, just sitting on my couch, staring at my phone, waiting for a message that never comes. On Sunday, my daughter Laura calls. "Dad, are you okay? You sound terrible." "I'm fine." I lie. "You don't sound fine." "What's going on?" "Nothing. Just not sleeping well." "Dad." Her voice is firm now, the way it gets when she knows I'm hiding something. "What happened?" I can't tell her. I can't tell her I gave away my life savings to a woman I met online in the Philippines. She'll think I'm an idiot. She'll tell her brother. They'll probably try to take control of my finances, declare me mentally unfit. I said I'm fine, Laura. I just called to say hi. "You didn't call me. I called you." "Right. Well, I'm glad you did. I need to go. I'll talk to you later." I hang up before she can push further. I sit in the silence of my apartment. The same apartment I sat in 2 years ago after Mary died. The same crushing loneliness. The same suffocating emptiness. Except now it's worse. Because for a few months, I had hope. I had purpose. I had someone who needed me. And now she's gone. They're all gone. And I'm right back where I started. Alone. Except now I'm also broke. Monday morning. Rico calls me. "Mr. Vincent, I have information." My hands are shaking as I answer. "What did you find?" "I went to the address you gave me. The house is empty. I spoke with neighbors. They said the family moved out approximately 4 months ago, packed up everything and left. No forwarding address. 4 months ago, but I've been sending money." "I know." I looked into the loan shark story. There is no record of any such debt. I checked with local hospitals regarding the brother. No patient by that name was ever admitted for kidney treatment. I also found the brother. He works at a construction company in Manila. He's perfectly healthy. The room tilts. "What?" "Mr. Vincent, I'm very sorry, but it appears you were scammed. The debt was fabricated. The medical emergency was fabricated. The photos, the documents, everything. There are groups that run these operations. They target foreign men, usually older, usually lonely. They build relationships, create elaborate stories, and then disappear once the money is extracted. I can't speak. I physically can't form words. I did find one more thing," Rico continues. "I tracked down some associates of Carmen. The man in the photos with her, Carlo, he's her boyfriend, has been for 3 years. They live together in Manila now. I'm sorry, Mr. Vincent. I wish I had better news." "Thank you. I somehow manage to say. Send me your report. I hang up. I sit on my couch, completely still, for hours. I don't cry. I don't scream. I don't feel anything at all, just emptiness. Complete and total emptiness. $120,000. Gone. My savings, my retirement, my security, all gone. And for what? For a fantasy, for a lie, for a 27-year-old woman who played me like a fool. I open my phone. I go through our messages. Every I love you. Every you're my hero. Every forever. I read them all, looking for the moment I should have known, the moment I should have seen it, and I see them. All the red flags I ignored, the way she avoided certain questions, the way she always needed just a little more money, the way her responses got shorter as the amounts got larger, the man's voice in the background, the photos with Carlo, her mother's overly dramatic performance, the hospital documents I never verified, the loan shark papers I never questioned. It was all there, right in front of me, and I saw none of it, because I didn't want to see it. I wanted to believe I was special, that a beautiful young woman could love an old man like me, that I could be someone's hero, that I could matter to someone again, but I didn't matter. I was just a bank account, a lonely foreigner with savings and desperation, and I handed her both without question. I sit there in the dark, holding my phone, and for the first time in 2 years, I understand why Mary's death hit me so hard, not just because I loved her, but because she was the only person who ever saw me as more than what I could provide. She loved me when I was young and broke, when I was building my career, when I had nothing. She loved me for me. And when she died, I thought I'd never find that again. So when Carmen came along and made me feel wanted, I grabbed onto it. I threw everything I had at it, because I was so desperate to feel valuable again, to feel needed, to feel loved. But it was never love, it was business, and I was the fool who couldn't tell the difference. I'm 65 years old. I have less than $15,000 left in my savings. My pension covers my rent and basic expenses. But that's it. No more travel, no more dreams of retiring in paradise, no more plans of building a life with someone, just surviving, day by day, month by month, until I die. I can't tell my kids. I can't tell Tom. I can't tell anyone, because the shame is too heavy to carry in the light. So I'll carry it in the dark, alone, like everything else in my life. I think about who I was before Carmen. Before the messages and the promises and the lies, I was a successful architect. I designed buildings that are still standing in Seattle, the Morrison Center downtown, the Harborview residential complex, the renovated Pike Place market entrance. Real things, permanent things, things that mattered. I had a wife who loved me, 2 kids I raised, a career that meant something. I was somebody. Then Mary died and suddenly I wasn't anybody anymore, just an old man in an empty house, and I couldn't handle it. That's the truth I don't want to face. I couldn't handle the loneliness, couldn't handle the silence, couldn't handle feeling invisible. So when Carmen appeared with her sweet messages and her beautiful smile and her family in need, I grabbed onto it like a drowning man grabs a life raft. I didn't just give her money. I bought the illusion that I was important again, that I was needed, that I had a purpose beyond waiting to die. She didn't just take my savings. I gave them to her, willingly, desperately, because I needed to believe I was more than just a discarded old man with a bank account. But that's all I ever was to her, the foreigner with savings and loneliness, and I handed her both without question. I look back at our conversations now and I see it so clearly. The way she always steered conversations back to her family's problems, the way she'd go silent for days after receiving money, then return full of warmth and promises, the way every solution required more money, the way she never once talked about coming to visit me. It was always about me going there, me sending money, me being the hero from a distance while she lived her real life with Carlo, her real boyfriend, her real love. I was never her future. I was her paycheck, and I performed my role perfectly. I wake up every morning now in my apartment and I don't recognize myself. The man staring back at me in the mirror is broken. Hollow, used up. I worked my entire life, saved my money, did everything right. And at 65 years old, I have nothing to show for it except a crushing debt of shame I'll carry to my grave. My kids can never know. Laura would be devastated. My son would be angry. They'd take control of my finances. They'd treat me like a child who can't be trusted. Maybe they'd be right. I can't even be angry at Carmen anymore. What's the point? She did what she needed to do to survive. I don't know her real story. Maybe she's poor and desperate. Maybe she's done this to 10 other men. Maybe I'm just a number in a long list of fools. It doesn't matter. She won. I lost. That's all there is to it. What I'm angry at is myself, for being so desperate, so needy, so blind. I ignored every warning sign because I wanted the fantasy more than I wanted the truth. Tom tried to warn me. I hung up on him. The red flags were everywhere. I explained them all away. Carmen's distance, the mysterious cousin, the photos with Carlo, the ever-increasing requests for money. I saw all of it and I chose to believe the lie anyway, because the lie was so much better than my reality. My reality was a silent house and children who forgot I exist and a bank account I'd never spend before I died. Carmen's lie gave me purpose, romance, adventure, a reason to wake up, and I would rather have that beautiful lie than face my ugly truth. So I paid for it, $120,000, for a few months of feeling like I mattered, like I was loved, like I was someone's hero. That's what it cost. That's what I was worth. I sit in the dark of my apartment and I wonder if I'll ever trust another person again. The answer is probably no. How could I? I trusted Mary and she died. I trusted Carmen and she destroyed me. Everyone I let close either leaves or takes everything and runs. Maybe I'm better off alone, at least alone. I can't be hurt anymore. But God, the loneliness. It's back, and it's worse than before. Because now I know what it feels like to have hope, to feel wanted, to imagine a future that isn't just slowly dying alone. And having that taken away is worse than never having it at all. I was better off numb, better off invisible, better off feeling nothing. At least then I couldn't be broken like this. At least then I still had my savings and my dignity. Now I have neither. Just shame and regret and the crushing knowledge that I'm exactly what I was terrified of being, a lonely old fool who got exactly what he deserved. 3 months pass. I've stopped checking my phone obsessively, stopped hoping for a message that will never come. I've settled into a new routine, smaller, quieter, more careful. I work my part-time consulting job, enough to supplement my pension, enough to rebuild a little bit of savings. It'll take years to get back what I lost, probably longer than I have left, but I'm trying. What else can I do? Then on a Tuesday morning, my phone buzzes. Unknown number. I almost don't answer, but something makes me pick up. A message. Vincent, it's me. My heart stops. It's Carmen. After 3 months of silence, she's back. I stare at the message. My hands start shaking. Part of me wants to throw the phone across the room. Part of me wants to respond immediately. I do neither. I just stare at those 3 words. 20 minutes later, another message. I'm sorry. I type back before I can stop myself. For what exactly? 3 dots appear, disappear, appear again. For everything. I needed the money. My family needed it. You don't understand what it's like to be desperate. I read that sentence 5 times. I'm shaking now. Actually shaking. I type. You didn't have to lie. I would have helped you anyway. You just had to tell me the truth. The dots appear. Stay there for a long time. Then, would you? Really? And I stop. My fingers hovering over the keyboard. Would I have? If she'd told me the truth from the beginning? I'm a poor Filipino girl. I need money for my family. There's no emergency. No loan sharks. No dying brother. I just need cash, and you're a lonely old American man with savings. Will you send me $120,000? Would I have sent a single penny? No, of course not. That's the truth I don't want to face. I needed the fantasy as much as she needed the money. I needed to believe I was saving someone, being a hero, being loved. Without that fantasy, I'm just an old man being asked for cash by a stranger on the internet. Maybe we were both using each other, her for survival, me for purpose. Maybe there was never any real connection at all, just two desperate people playing roles. She played the grateful damsel. I played the noble savior. And we both got what we wanted until the money ran out. I don't respond. What can I say? She's right. I wouldn't have helped her if I'd known the truth. I would have blocked her like I should have from the beginning. So who's really to blame here? Her for lying, or me for needing the lie so badly that I ignored every sign it was a lie? Another message comes through. I know you hate me. I understand. But I'm not sorry for surviving. I did what I had to do. I stare at that message. She's not sorry. Not really. She's sorry she got caught, maybe. Sorry the money stopped. But not sorry for what she did. And why should she be? She got $120,000. I got a painful education. In her world, that's a win. I delete the conversation. I block the number. I don't respond. Not out of forgiveness, not out of understanding, but because engaging with her is like drinking poison and expecting her to die. She'll never give me the apology I want. She'll never feel the guilt I think she should feel. She'll move on to the next lonely man with savings and loneliness, and she'll do it all over again. And somewhere in America or Europe or Australia, another 65-year-old widower will get a message from a beautiful young Filipino woman who thinks he's interesting, who asks about his day, who makes him feel seen, and he'll ignore all the warnings because he needs to believe he matters. Just like I did. I lie in bed that night and I think about responding, about asking her if any of it was real, if she ever felt anything for me at all. But I know the answer, and hearing her say it out loud would finish breaking whatever tiny piece of me is still intact. So I let her go. Not because I forgive her, but because holding on to this anger is killing me. It's eating me alive from the inside, and I'm too old and too tired to carry it anymore. 6 months later, I'm in a different apartment. Smaller, cheaper, in a less nice part of Seattle. My daughter Laura helped me move. She didn't ask too many questions, just told me she was glad I was downsizing, that the old place was too big for one person anyway. She doesn't know I didn't have a choice, that my savings are gone, that I'm living paycheck to paycheck at 65 years old, and she never will if I can help it. I started seeing a therapist, Dr. Sarah Chen. She's 50, kind, doesn't judge. When I finally told her the whole story, she didn't call me stupid, didn't lecture me, just asked, "What did you learn?" I told her I learned that loneliness makes you stupid, that desperation makes you blind, that love, or what I thought was love, can be the most expensive mistake you ever make. She nodded. What else did you learn? I thought about it. That I'm stronger than I thought. That I can survive heartbreak and financial ruin and humiliation and still get up in the morning. She smiled. That's the real lesson, Vincent. Not that you were fooled, but that you survived being fooled. I'm not the same man I was a year ago. That man was naive and desperate and so hungry for love he couldn't see the truth when it was staring him in the face. This man is harder, more careful, more cynical, but also more real. I don't lie to myself anymore. I don't pretend I'm okay when I'm not. I don't chase fantasies to avoid my reality. This is my reality. A small apartment in Seattle. A part-time job. A pension that barely covers expenses. 2 kids who call once a month. No romance, no grand adventures, no beautiful woman telling me I'm her hero. Just me, alone, getting older, watching the years count down. It's not the life I imagined. It's not the life I wanted, but it's the truth. And after everything, I'd rather have an ugly truth than a beautiful lie. I see Carmen's face sometimes when I close my eyes. That smile, those promises. That warmth that made me believe I was special. I don't hate her anymore. I actually pity her. What kind of life does she have where scamming old men is her best option? What happened to her that this became normal? I don't know. I'll never know. And it doesn't matter. She's living her life somewhere with Carlo. Maybe still running scams. Maybe she stopped. Maybe she thinks about me sometimes. Probably not. I'm just one of many. A name in a contact list. A bank account that ran dry. Nothing special. Nothing memorable. And that's the hardest part. I thought I was special to her. I thought what we had was unique. But I was just another Mark. Another lonely old man who needed to believe he mattered. She probably doesn't even remember my last name. But I'm trying to build something from the wreckage. I volunteer at a community center now, teaching basic architecture to kids. It doesn't pay anything, but it gives me a reason to leave the apartment. The kids ask me questions about buildings and design and why things are built the way they are. And for an hour each week, I'm not a lonely old fool. I'm a teacher, someone with knowledge worth sharing. I joined a support group for people who've been scammed in romance fraud. There are 12 of us, all ages, all backgrounds, all with the same story. Met someone online, fell in love, sent money, got destroyed. We sit in a circle in a church basement and we share our shame. And somehow, saying it out loud to people who understand makes it a little more bearable. I'm learning to forgive myself, slowly. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. Harder than losing Mary. Harder than rebuilding my life. Because forgiving myself means accepting that I was desperate enough to ignore every warning sign, naive enough to believe a fantasy, lonely enough to pay $120,000 for a few months of feeling wanted. But Dr. Chen keeps reminding me that my desperation doesn't make me weak. It makes me human. You wanted love, she says. That's not a character flaw. That's being alive. Maybe she's right. Maybe wanting love at 65 isn't pathetic. Maybe being lonely isn't shameful. Maybe reaching out for connection, even when it destroys you, is braver than never reaching out at all. I don't know. I'm still figuring it out. What I do know is this. I survived. I lost everything, and I survived. I'm still here, still breathing, still getting up every morning, still trying to build a life worth living. I don't have much, but I have me, and after everything, maybe that's enough. I'm sitting in my small apartment on a Wednesday evening. The sun is setting. The light is golden through the window. I'm drinking coffee. Nothing special, just coffee. And I realize something. I'm okay. Not happy, not whole, but okay. I don't think about Carmen every day anymore. I don't check my phone hoping for a message. I don't replay our conversations looking for clues. She's becoming a memory, a painful one, but just a memory. The man I was when I met her is gone. The desperate widower who needed someone to tell him he mattered. He doesn't exist anymore. This man, the one sitting here now, he knows he matters, not because someone tells him, but because he chooses to matter. To himself, to the kids he teaches, to the people in his support group, to his daughter who calls him every week now. I'm not waiting to be saved anymore. I'm not waiting for someone to give my life meaning. I'm building meaning myself, slowly, carefully, without fantasy, without lies. Just small, real moments that add up to something like a life. Laura visited last weekend. We had dinner. She told me about her job, her kids, her husband, normal stuff. And then, as she was leaving, she hugged me and said, "I'm proud of you, Dad. I don't know what you went through this year, but I can see you're different. Stronger." I didn't tell her the truth, but I held on to that hug a little longer than usual, because that's what I needed. Not a beautiful young woman calling me her hero, but my daughter seeing my strength. That's what matters. That's what's real. I'll never get my money back. I'll never hear Carmen apologize. I'll never understand why she chose me. And I'm learning to be okay with that. Some questions don't have answers. Some losses don't have closure. Some pain just has to be carried until it gets light enough to bear. I'm 65 years old. I'm not rich. I'm not important. I'm not anyone's hero. I'm just Vincent, a man who made a terrible mistake and survived it. A man who loved unwisely and learned from it. A man who's still here, still trying, still breathing. And maybe, just maybe, that's enough.